chance here for Huddersfield, which is swept in by Josh Karoma.
Flips this one in, goes to the far post. Nagayama with the goal.
Hello everybody, welcome back to this Sunday evening stream. Yeah, a bit different tonight. Obviously, I just wanted to come on here and get this review out of the way. To be honest with you, I was going to do it tomorrow night as I usually do, but no, I think it was appropriate for me to come on tonight. And yeah, I wish it was in more happier circumstances, but yeah, I mean, wow. I'm just speechless, to be honest. I really am speechless. I'm, very mad at the moment. And yeah, we're just going to get into how we usually do these. Obviously, look at the lineups and then go into how the match developed. But I just can't believe how bad this week has been really for us. This week, on the back of two games ago, it was still a precarious position was in, but I still felt a lot more positive, a bit more optimistic about staying up in the division. 2 games later, and that optimism, that positivity has completely drained, I'm afraid. Because we've seen a performance like we did on Wednesday, where Cardiff were nothing special on Wednesday, and we couldn't even beat them. We were so poor. We're poorer than them, and it was a woeful display. And today, a game of 2 halves, if you could say so. A game of 2 halves, but unfortunately, a game isn't 45 minutes long. You can't afford to do what we did in that second half. We'll get into it anyway now. Aiden's in the chat. He says, "Hi mate, I would say hope you're okay, but we're all feeling a bit down at the moment. Relegation is on the cards." Yeah, I didn't bother saying hope everybody's okay at the start. If you noticed, for that reason, really, we're not okay, are we? We're not okay. It's been a horrible day. And, I don't understand how we can look quite good 2 games ago. After the Leeds game, we were thinking to ourselves, yeah, you know what, we've kept that momentum going under Andre. We look good. We look like we're going to be able to, just keep picking up those points nicely and getting ourselves away from the relegation. But these past two results and performances have been pretty much shambolic, really. And I'm sorry, it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. But yeah, thank you. Like I said, we are a bit, we're very down at the moment, and relegation. Yeah, I felt like there was a kind of almost a resignation in the air. Towards the end of the game, where you think to yourself, obviously everybody left quite early, to be fair, empty seats being at full time for a while, so that speaks volumes. It was also very cold, it was quite wet as well today, so that's probably played a part in it, but the result, more often than not, obviously, the performance. People had just had enough when that 4th goal went in for West Brom, and you can't blame them. You really can't blame them. Because yeah, we're going to get into the game anyway, and we're gonna have a look at everything. Oris is in. Big up Ryan. Really not good today, but it's a massive concern with the lineup Andre played today. Look, yeah, big up to you, by the way, Oris. Look, listen. To be honest with you, it's a massive concern across the whole board, really. Yeah, the lineup. You could say that. I'm going to get into my thoughts on the lineup in a minute. The performance. I don't see what we're trying to do our style of play. I don't understand. We've talked about this before, how Andre couldn't come in and implement his style full on from the off. And I don't think he's done it full on, but I've seen things like passing out, playing out from the back. Can you really tell me that we've got players that can play out from the back? We haven't. So that is where I feel like he's been a bit. He's asking players to do something they can't necessarily do because they're not good enough to be able to do that. So I don't necessarily understand that at all. But yeah, a massive concern, massive worry across the whole board for me. Not just the lineups, but just everything. Yeah, smash those. Yeah, like I say, likes. Yeah, if you want to do, you can. But like I say, I'll just come on here to speak about the game, and yeah, hope I'm keeping well. Yeah, I'm. Like I say, it's demoralising at the moment. I'm keeping well, I suppose, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I hope you're doing okay. Anyway, evening to you, Joshua. Evening. I hope you're doing well. Mate, I want to ask you just something off my mind. Where was Matos in the starting 11? Matos is one of them who shows a bit of positivity. Look, Aiden, we're going to get into it now. We're going to get into the review, and I'm going to cover this. And we're going to go through the. You're saying, why is Matos not starting? Well, let me tell you. Let's have a look at the lineup anyway, and then we're going to. I'll answer it in a minute. So yeah, obviously the lineup is as follows: 3-5-2, Lee Nichols in goal, Pearson, Hellick, and Lees at the back, with Brodie Spencer and Jaheim Headley as the wing backs, and then Jack Redone, Hogg, and David Kasumu in the middle, and then we had Bergzorg and Sorba Thomas. Well, I thought Sorba Thomas was more on the wing. Sometimes Sky can get this wrong, really, can't they? But Sorba Thomas was obviously kind of more on the wing. And like I say, my thoughts on the lineup. Yeah, I mean, come on now. I've constantly said time and time again, why in the past few games has Matos not been in the starting 11? And I'm completely and utterly, I'm confused because he is our best midfielder, right? He's our best midfielder. He brings energy. He gets a tackle in. He's the only one that does get a tackle in most of the time because everybody else seems to let the ball bypass them. And yeah, so at least Matos creates that energy. Like I say, he's one of our best midfielders. And we find ourselves keeping our best midfielder on the bench. But you know what? What I'm going to do is, Andre's thinking here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put Matos on in the 75th minute and we're 4-1 down. Yeah, 4-1 down. And that's absolutely what a decision that was. Absolutely pointless. Yes, he did start the game. He should have been on sooner then. He should have been on sooner. And yeah, I don't understand that. So you're asking about where was Matos in the starting 11? I have no idea. And the only thing I can think of is why he's not starting is Andre clearly has an agenda against him, doesn't like him. I don't know why he doesn't like him, because he's a player that will run through brick walls for you. He has that quality that we need in the midfield. And we've seen how good he is when he's played. When he came on as well, obviously he's not starting game, but he's come on every game. Every time he's come on, I thought, he's looked brilliant. And I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Sharon Bergzorg's Instagram post of him celebrating the goal. Does he not realise he's lost 4-1 in a big battle in the relegation? Absolute idiot. Yeah, Oris, I'm going to cover that. That is on my list of things that I'm going to cover. But yeah, absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Football is a team game, if it's forgotten. And the fact is that he's celebrating individually because he's got a goal. Oh, we just lost 4-1, but yeah, it's all right. You scored, so that's all that counts, doesn't it, really? Oh, well, doesn't matter. You know, poor, very poor. And it says Andre plays attacking football, blah blah blah. Past too much time seeing that attacking football. Is it just me? Yeah, I mean, look, we've seen when we obviously at Watford, the first game, it looked very good, didn't it? Obviously, very effective. It looked like we were attacking. You know, we were attacking, going forward, positive. And obviously against Leeds, well, obviously the first half we were superb. And obviously got man sent off, so then we had to sit back a bit, which was obviously killed the game a bit. But we saw positive play in against Leeds. Cardiff, as we know, the Cardiff game was absolutely terrible. No attacking intent whatsoever, no intensity, nothing, produced nothing. So no attacking football in that game. And today again, yes, okay, we did have our moments going forward, but it wasn't what we've seen in the opening 2 games in terms of that constant positive play, constant trying to get forward. It's so laboured all of a sudden, you know, and that's kind of how I feel about it. But so yeah, the lineup, I was seriously underwhelmed by that. And like I said, not only that, if you look at the setup here, we started the game with technically 6 defenders at home. Now, hang on a minute, we would be hounding Darren Moore for that had he started with 6 defenders. And yes, okay, Headley and Spencer are quite attacking, but they still have to do the defensive duties as well. So technically, they're defenders. And yeah, I just can't, you know, I just can't agree with him leaving Matos out, I'm afraid. A quality player. We missed that bite in the midfield, and like I said, we have nothing in that midfield whatsoever without him. So I'm sorry, I don't understand. And we all know as well, let's just talk about Bojan Radulovic. Again, an injury. Yes, another injury that's come out of the blue, a back injury. Absolutely wonderful. You know, we signed players in January, supposedly to make an impact, supposedly to play, supposedly not to get injured at a turn of a muscle. And this is what is happening. He's absolutely atrocious. And as of now, January, apart from Matos, January spending that amount of money on 2 players in Healy and Radulovic has been a complete and utter waste of money. It's been a waste of money. They look like panic buys. They look like panic buys to me. They really do. Because you know what? I'm sorry. You know, we saw in that first game that Radulovic came on in the FA Cup game. I thought, yeah, look, okay. He looks quite decent. You know, it looks like he's going to do quite well for us. You know, he had a few good touches. Obviously, linked up play well. Got a chance as well. He had an opportunity to score. Unlucky not to score. But from that point, he's either been injured or he's been on the bench. And when he's come on, he's done nothing. So, I'm sorry. These players, I just have no idea. But the recruitment team and everything, you know, and if we go down, we know who will be pointing the blame at here. We know the fact is that we could all see when Darren Ball was appointed, right, and I'll call him that, Darren Ball, right, when he was appointed back in September, it was a seriously underwhelming appointment, right? Seriously underwhelming. And then we went along, we kept giving him chance after chance after chance to turn it around. People kept using the excuse of he hasn't got a starting 11, there's loads of injuries, all this nonsense, yeah. We kept hold of him far too long, as we all know. We all know we have, right? And look what's happening. It's just shocking. It really is. But let's talk about the game, and we'll kind of come back to bits and pieces about that in a moment. Look, the first half, I thought we did play fairly well, to be honest with you. I wasn't too happy about, the passing was quite poor at times. We were quite wasteful on the ball. But the first half was good. I was fairly pleased. Just a few things that I was thinking, I'm not, not great. West Brom, on the other hand, was absolutely atrocious in that first half. And I think that, we scored the goal, obviously. Bergzorg scored, didn't he? Which obviously was a good goal. It came from a Helic interception, who then obviously set Bergzorg in. And then, obviously, he had a lot to do from there. Obviously, got past the defender and a really nice finish. My only thing about the first half is that yes, we were playing fairly well. It wasn't the best we've seen in a half that we've played, over the last few months since January time. But I think we did do well. But the only thing is we had chances, obviously, to get another goal, to get that cushion, but we failed to do so. And we kind of expected that West Brom wouldn't be any worse in that second half. And they did come out in the second half, West Brom, and they looked a completely different team. On the other hand, we looked a completely different team too, because we'd gone absolutely, you don't know what was said at half time, but I'm not, we just completely and utterly fell to pieces. That's how I see it. But like I said, the first half was good. We did create some chances. We should have scored more than one in that first half, though, admittedly. That's the only thing. And then obviously it came back to haunt us in the second half. But you just can't afford to play fairly well for 45 minutes. You're not going to get anything in this league playing well for 45 minutes. It's simple, isn't it? It's simple, And we're going to get into the comments now before we get into some more of my thoughts. Stepped up against Leeds, but been absolutely anonymous ever since. Who was that? Who were you talking about there, Tony? I forgot who I was talking about at the time. Can't remember who I was talking about. But yeah, feel for you about the recruitment. Yeah, look, we've had this for years now, recruitment. Recruitment's been shocking for a while now. Not just this year, but previously. We got away, we kept getting away with it. But, I always think that you ride your luck for a long time, but that luck doesn't last forever. It doesn't. And I'm going to obviously say a few more bits about that a bit later on, once we've finished talking about the game. But yeah, luck doesn't last forever. Aidan says Nagel wants to win the Premier League in the next 3 years. I wonder if he meant the National League. That. To be honest with you, Aidan, I'm not listening to any of that rubbish. Right? I don't trust anything at the moment. The trust is not there. Right? It's not there with the owner. Yes, he put his money where his mouth is in January. But again, you look at the money that's been spent. It's been a complete and utter waste of time. Matos, a good loan deal. Really good. Apart from that, nothing. And of course, his glamorous assistants that he has in the boardroom there, which aren't going under the radar with me, let me tell you. Absolutely useless. Useless. No trust in Cartwright and Edwards. That's for sure. And I say that with authority. Absolutely shambolic that they're still in a job. It really is. Because they've not just made one mistake. They've made a catalogue of mistakes. I'm sorry. But you look at January again, the players that we signed, hiring Darren Moore, keeping him in as long as we did. That's three or four mistakes in, well, it's not even been a year. That just says it all. Just says all you need to know. But yeah, unbelievable statement that Nagel decided to come out with, weeks whenever he came out with that nonsense. I know what it feels like to have bad recruiting. Yeah, it's not good, is it? First 12 minutes, I felt like I had no written all over it, if I'm honest. Yeah, it It was very poor. Like I said, in that first half, we weren't great. We got the goal, and yeah, it was a good goal. We were a lot better in the first half than the second half, but I suppose you couldn't get any worse in the second half than what it showed. So, the Lidenhowers, their goal, not offside. I mean, listen, we know we're always up against the officials every single week. And yeah, I don't know. It looked offside to me. I've had a look at the replays. It looked slightly offside. But yeah, doesn't surprise me the slightest that they went against us, because that's what they usually do. And yeah, so yeah, we struggle to do a full 90 on the press. Yeah, we do, Mark. We do. But again, it goes back to what I said earlier. Why are we playing? Yes, okay, you have to kind of implement a bit of your style, of course. When you're in the midst of a season, you can't do all at once, as we can all agree. So why is he asking them to do that press when we've got players that simply can't do it for the full time required? I don't understand. I'm not understanding why he's. Look, we do want to press to a degree, but when we have to balance it, don't we? We want to press, but we don't want to press to the extent where we can't do it for a full 90, which is what we're doing at the moment. And look, the players just can't handle it. I'm afraid they just can't do it. They just can't. So I don't understand why we're playing this pressing game for such full throttle press. We can't do it. Blue says the West Brom were very clinical today. Thought Nichols could have done better with the fourth and second goal. The effort was there all game, but the decision making was awful. Yeah, I mean, look, they were clinical. They're a team that are up there for a reason, of course they are. And yeah, they were clinical, especially obviously the second half. They were a lot better than what they showed in the first. And yeah, Nichols has had a bit of a topsy-turvy season, hasn't he? I think it's safe to say. I think he's kept us in quite a few games, though. I'm definitely giving credit for that. But if you look at the negative sides to what we've seen this season, yeah, I mean, obviously his distribution, the amount of time he just kicks the ball out of play or he loses it, he just hoofs it and he just goes to nobody. The amount of time that he takes on goal kicks at time, you think to yourself, if you for example, when we were, what was it? When it was 0-0 and when we've been losing games in the past, there's no urgency from the keeper, and the urgency starts with the keeper, and he's just messing around, not getting the ball out. It really is infuriating. But yeah, I agree with what you said there, Blue Terry, to be honest with you. Lee Nichols has been good for us, but in my opinion, it's time to go of him. He's not good enough. Very bold statement, Aidan. We certainly have seen things that we've not seen before. And I think that the levels that Nichols got to over the last few seasons when we've seen him at his peak, he's been absolutely solid for us. But overall, I will have to say that he has been poor overall, and there is questions there. There is questions there with him right now. Mark's a very poor finish in the second half. They were clinical. Yeah, they were. We had chances, didn't we, Mark? We had, like I said, we had chances in that second half to make the game, ours. But they were clinical. We weren't. And the fact is, when I look at the final third, yeah, these players can do things for you, and they can. But when I look in the final third, mind you, defensively, we're not that much great. But when we look at the final third attacking, I don't see the quality that is required. In terms of clinical edge, we haven't got the players to be clinical. These players need quite a number of chances to score. That's the reality. And even then, they might not score. That's where the difference is with certain, obviously the teams at the top were at the bottom, obviously we're at the bottom. That's the difference, isn't it? Teams like West Brom have the clinical strikers in there. They have the, if you get a chance, they'll score. Whereas we don't. We've never been, the clinical edge has not been part of our forte for a while, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I don't know. Maxwell should start against Rotherham, in my opinion. So there's a lot of people saying that Nichols should be dropped. Yeah, so look, I haven't even had a chance to have a think about the Rotherham game yet, to be honest with you. I really haven't. I'm just still mulling over this defeat. But yeah, I mean, if Maxwell has been good, hasn't he, when he's come in, to be fair, so maybe it is time. When we talk about recruitment for a while, we've been signing League One players and praying they come good and we make a profit on them. Most of the squad will have to go if we stay up. I mean, look, I absolutely agree with you. I do agree with you. I think, yeah, we have been signing League One players, and praying that they do come good, like I said, and make a profit on them. And I agree. There has to be a massive overhaul in the summer if we stay up. Absolutely have to. We have to. Every Cartwright signing: Maxwell, Edwards, Bergzog, Wiles, Matos, Radulovic, Healy, and Balker. The players that have been good signings have been solid, but equally the bad ones have been really bad. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Again, I agree. The fact that we brought Edwards in was an utter disgrace. Bergzog is very hot and cold. Yes, he'll produce something for you from time to time, but is he consistent enough? No. But neither is anybody else. So I'm not going to... Wiles, for me, completely uninspiring signing. He's done nothing. He has been very poor for the majority of the time that we've seen him. Matos obviously has been outstanding. Bojan, not seen him. Hardly seen him. When he's been on, he's been useless. That's it. Healy, again, we haven't seen enough of him. Got injured within a game. Haven't seen enough of him. Balker, again, Balker's another one. I think he has the quality. But the problem I've got with him is his availability. He's had an injury, and he's been ill, then another injury, and he's been ill again. And it's just like, what is happening here? And obviously, he came on today. He did quite well. So, obviously, hopefully now, he can stay fit. Because it's just getting beyond a joke, this. Credit where it's due, though, West Brom third goal, yeah. Now, we're going to get into the second half, then. Look, this was just... How Carlos changed it tactically is why he's such a quality manager. He tweaked his tactics in the, obviously, spoke to the players at halftime, obviously, and whatever he said worked. It worked. He's a quality manager, and he's proved so. But if you look at the goals that we conceded, the first one being in the 51st minute, all 3 out of the 4 were avoidable. I think we can all agree on that. Now, also, this first goal was the offside, questionable offside, and it did look offside to me. But again, West Brom still had a lot to do from where they were. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to blame the offside for why we lost this game. Because, yes, okay, the equaliser, and then they start pushing even more. They have confidence then, but we still should have defended better. And we certainly shouldn't have stopped, if we thought it was offside. We have to keep going to the whistle, as they say. So, yeah, questionable goal, but they scored it. And then this second goal was as scrappy as they come on it. From a set piece, conceding like this from a set piece, how scruffy was this goal? Failed to clear our lines. There were a melee in the middle, and Bartley obviously got on the end of it, poked it in. But again, woeful defending, absolutely woeful. And then I think the third goal, wasn't it? To be fair, the third goal was a class strike. I can't say anything about that really. It was a good goal, so fair play to you. But then again, to be fair, it was over at 3-1. I'd never thought we would get back in it at 3. Maybe if we would have scored, we did have a chance after that. I think did Bergdorf get a chance as well to make it 3-2, or somebody did, and then, but we didn't, and then obviously they scored again. So yeah, but I never thought we were going to get back into it, to be honest with you. But yeah, a complete and utter capitulation. You know, if you look at it, 4 goals in 22 minutes. And I'm sorry, the defensively, if we didn't have Helik in that defence, we would absolutely be, we would be, I don't know where we'd be, well, we'd be lower down. Because defensively, I'm sorry, you know, look, I love Matty Pearson. I think he's a great man, great professional on and off the field, absolutely brilliant. Chips in with goals. But defensively, I'm sorry, he's just not good enough. You know, and the amount of times that he does kick the ball out of play, it's just simply not good enough. So yes, he chips in with goals, and that's great. But he's a defender first and foremost, and I just think that at times, defensively, he's just completely off it. Like I say, we know he doesn't have much pace either, and I think that you do get undone a lot in this league with not much pace, because the players you're up against, it is difficult when you haven't got the speed to be able to cope. But I just think the basics of set pieces as well, especially set piece goals that we concede, like today, very, 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 very poor. Lees again has the same deficiencies. He's not that quick. Yes, he's an okay defender, but he's not Helik level, is he? He's not a Helik. You know, he's not one of those defenders that you feel completely comfortable with. Because whenever Helik's got the ball, anybody else, but whenever Helik's got the ball, I feel comfortable. I know that he's going to be able to, you know, get out of the situation or whatever. You know, play out from the back. He's good at that. Mr. Reliable, always wins his headers, but yeah. So Helik playing with Lees and Pearson, I'm sorry, we just can't afford to keep players that, you know, I'm not saying get rid of them. They may be our squad players, but starting players, I don't think Pearson and Lees are those, I'm afraid. Blue Cherry says, can you go through our entire squad at some point and say which players you think have to go in the summer? Yes, I can do that. Yeah, I'll note that down, Blue Terrier, and we'll do a stream on that. But obviously, maybe we should do that a bit maybe towards the end of the season, a bit more. I mean, not like I said, we're nearly at the end of the season anyway, to be fair, aren't we? But I'm just mean, once the season's done, maybe we should do it directly after, see who we should keep and who we shouldn't. But yeah, we'll definitely do that. But yeah, you know, like I said, if you look at the midfield as well, I want to talk about midfield here now as well. Since Brian Wright has joined, I just feel like the midfield has been completely non-existent, you know. Kasumu and Radona, they just seem to be running around, you know, like headless chickens, really, for me. And I just think you really need to play more midfielders and, you know, kind of facilitate the lack of ball players in our squad. And stop telling people to play out from the back when they can't. Like I said, we haven't got the players to do it, so just don't do it. And Matos not starting is absolutely criminal. It really is. Like I say, it really is, you know, an unforgivable capitulation in that, in that second half. First half, they didn't have a shot, but they've won the game 20 minutes into the second half. And I just think fail to win next week, and we might as well throw the towel in completely, as far as I'm concerned, because I just feel like right now, my heart's saying that we're not going to get out of this. maybe that's, and people keep telling me, oh, we've got teams around us, we'll be fine, don't worry, we'll be fine. Since when is playing teams around us guaranteeing us wins, please? Why are these teams around us? Yeah, if you're in a relegation battle or whatever, or if you're up there, so you have to be winning teams around you, right? That's the same, and I get that. But it doesn't mean it guarantees you a win. It doesn't mean it guarantees you points. It's like next week. We go to Rotherham next week. We have to win that game, and the pressure is well and truly on. The pressure is heightened even more now in these games because we're not able to pick up points against teams that are, obviously up at the top, and arguably when Cardiff were 11th, we couldn't beat Cardiff as well. So I don't buy this that we're going to be fine because we're playing teams around us, because we're not playing well enough at the moment. We're just not. These past few games, we're not playing well enough. So you can play against who you like. You don't care who you're up against. We have to start performing. And the players, and I'm talking about every single one. I'm not going to, blame one player or two players or three, whatever. I'm going to say every single player needs to have a long, hard look at themselves after the last few games we've played. Because it has been completely and utterly shambolic. It really has. We pass the ball and hope for the best. Well, it seems that way, doesn't it? We do. The ball is either out of play or in the opposition feet. Yeah, it is. I agree. Like I said, really bad for me. Bad tactical decisions, bad team selection for me. Like I said, the ability to move the ball up the pitch without hoofing it. We're not able to do that. We're just hoof. We play out from the back. We do this silly passing around at the back, but then we end up just hoofing it because that's what we usually do. And then it just keeps coming back. We haven't got any aerial threat up front to be able to we don't have that centre forward that can bully defenders, do we? To be honest with you. I'm going to put it out there. Like I said, West Brom were a good team, but a team that was, I think a team that was actually fighting to stay up in us would show more grit. I thought we'd show more grit and determination than what we did. And for me, it was embarrassing today. Like I say, it's all self-inflicted. This disaster that this season's been again, And to be quite honest with you, we deserve to go down after the mistakes from Nagel and Cartwright. The lack of investment in the summer, Warnock's fiasco, then Darren Moore appointment, panic buying in January, of which none of the 4 signings are starting. Now I'm sorry. If these players are not getting in, then, and like I said, 2 of them are injured. So there we go. That's all you've got to, that just sums it up. But 4 signings made, none of them starting today. Doesn't look great, does it? Doesn't look great on the recruitment team. Doesn't look great of what we did in January. And if you look at that second half, right, I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm struggling to see a difference in the second half to what we saw under Moore. And that's me being absolutely honest with you all, right? I don't see any difference. It was woeful. And we really do, and when I look at it, we really do look like a team that's accepted relegation. We do. It just seems, it feels that way all of a sudden, I just don't know anymore. Blue Tracers, good job. Rotherham aren't a fast team. They are just quite physical. Yeah, they are physical. They might not be a fast team, Rotherham, but they're a physical side, aren't they? Where's the physicality in our team? Can I just ask? Because okay, Hellick's very physical at the back. Matos, when he's playing, is very physical. We know that. Kasumu, a bit, but not much. Forward players, I don't see any physicality in that forward line. To me, I don't. Maybe Sorba Thomas is quite physical, to be fair. But apart from him, there's just nobody. There's nobody. And Blue Taste, I'm going to say it now. Ward isn't good enough. If Radulovic and Healy aren't ready, play Kieran Phillips. Yeah, he's got to that stage, hasn't it now, where we're looking for other options because it's getting that desperate, you know. And the fact is, I agree, Ward is not good enough. Absolutely awful. He's awful. And the fact that we signed him on a new contract deal and the length that he's got, he's laughing. He's laughing behind the club's back. We're a laughing stock, right? We're absolute laughing stock. Karoma, another one. Karoma's will create a spark for you. He's a squad player, fine. But Karoma doesn't deliver enough for me. He doesn't, I'm sorry, he just doesn't. He does create the odd one. I'll give him that. He does create that spark sometimes. And he isn't a starter anymore. He's more from the bench now, isn't he? But he's just not good enough either. So, yeah, why not? Why not try Kieran Phillips? Ian says, our players can't win a header. For example, Thomas and Bergzog up front, especially Bergzog, he just ducks down instead of winning the header. Headers are important in football, if you ask me. Yeah, and it comes back to that physicality. There's nobody that's gonna get the body in front of it and win a header, you know, and be physical. You know, Bergzog isn't physical. You know, Ward is not physical. If you ask me, he's not. Thomas, yeah, I mean, Thomas is quite small. He's quite small. Well, he's not small, but he's not tall. He's not very tall, is he? So, yeah, look, I agree though. Heading is an important part of the game, and we just don't seem to win enough headers for me. Huddersfield play like they did against us in the first half. You'll be all right. Good luck for the rest of the season, Mr. UB40. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate your positivity, and we do need a bit of uplifting in this stream tonight. So at least from an opposition fan, we've kind of had some bit positive. Look, first half was all right, was good. We played well, but like I said, 45 minutes. It's not going to win you football matches. If we continue to do that, we're not going to win anything. So, you know, but yeah, I appreciate that, and good luck to you for the rest of the season too. But yeah, cheers for that. Blue Terrier has said, Pearson and Lee are good at dealing with physicality, but useless against pace. I mean, and yeah, that's the problem, isn't it, though, Blue Terrier? Because the fact is, I said earlier, you're coming up against a lot of pace in this division, more often than not, aren't you? You simply don't get away with not having pace, or at least some pace. Now, obviously, some players have got more pace than others. Fine, that's fine. But Lees and Pearson hardly have any pace, as we know. You know, and that's the problem, isn't it? So yeah. Like I said, if we look at it overall, it was simply not good enough today, I think, and that's the bottom line of it. There's no point saying it was. And the players are just letting themselves down continuously, and you know, past two games, it feels like we've gone back to our old ways. It does, and that's worrying. That's a massive worry to me, that we've gone back into our own ways, and now look what's happening. So yeah, we're going to touch upon this now, so the Bergzong situation. Now, look, he scored a good goal. I'll give him that, right? But putting a post out just quite soon after the full-time whistle had gone, you've just lost 4-1, and you're coming onto social media and you're celebrating the goal that you scored and bigging yourself up. Now, am I missing something here? Because, first of all, it's not an individual game. It's a team game. The team have lost. So I'm not entirely sure why you felt that was appropriate to go onto social media and put a post out like that and then be seen to be liking other comments with the criticism that he's getting, because he knew that he wasn't going to get. He knew he was going to get a bit of backlash from what he put out there, right? Putting that out as soon as we, from the final whistle, doing that, it's a disgrace, really. And you know what? If we can sit here and say that that's acceptable, I'm sorry, it's not. Just because he scored doesn't mean it gives him a free card to do what he wants after the match. Because, he, like I said, I was very annoyed to see that. He just kind of added to, I just think it's a complete lack of professionalism, to be honest with you, I do. And it's just kind of shows what kind of player he is, really, in terms of, very selfish, very arrogant, and I don't like it. I'm afraid, guys, I don't like it, and that's it. Luton says, against Rotherham, we need to use the pace of play like Thomas Bergzorg heavily to try and get him behind Rotherham. Yeah, I mean, look, we do, but I'm not. I just don't know. I just don't know what to say anymore. You can post stuff on Instagram, but why can't you come to the fans and know our frustration in person? Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I just think it gives off a really bad vibe when you're doing that on social media, and you're doing that, and yeah, so very poor from him, and I'm not gonna sit here and say it wasn't. But look, I don't really know what else to say. Obviously, we were going to keep this quite up to the hour mark. Any people that want to contribute further, they're happy to do so. But I just think I'm kind of at the point now where, I just feel like the belief, the optimism that I had a few games ago has just drained away, unfortunately. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we've got teams around us, so we'll be fine, because I don't necessarily feel like that, because the teams that we're playing are also fighting for relegation. So that means that we're going to have to want to win it more than they do, and fight better than they do. And from what I've seen over the past few games, can anybody honestly say that we're up for the fight? Because in the second half today, it didn't look like we were up for the fight. It looked like we kind of felt like the players accepted relegation. Against Cardiff, fight. You've got to be fighting down there. Even if we didn't play well against Cardiff, but it was the fact that we didn't even show any kind of fight or anything in that game. So when we're talking about these games that teams that are around us and saying that we'll be fine because we're playing these teams, I completely and wholeheartedly disagree. Because I go back to it. You have to fight down there. And if you don't, then you're on hiding to nothing, aren't you? So so that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. I certainly won't accept performances like today on Wednesday, to be honest with you, because we know that these performances aren't going to keep us in this division. and we have to start our best. We have to start our best lineup. I'm not convinced that Andre knows his best lineup. Yes, okay, he's only been there a few weeks, but and we just, we look at the defending today, and everything just seems off again. It just seems off, and honestly, it just like I said earlier, how many times have we had to fight relegation over the last? I don't know how far you want to go back. Past 10 years, shall we say? We've been fighting relegation more often than not, right? And as I said before, our luck, will go. We can only keep circling the drain for so long without being, flushed away, if you could say so. And to be honest with you, we have just stumped this league out for years, and in truth, long overdue relegation, you could say, when we've consistently been at the bottom with no progress, the same mistakes happening in the boardroom and the decisions off the field. It's Wednesday QPR played West Brom, and what score was that? 2-2. We play West Brom and lose 4-1. How does that work out? Yeah, I go back to it though, Aidan. I go back to it. QPR are fighting. They are fighting, right? Because they're down there, and that's what you've got to do down there. You can't just expect to turn up and win because if you're playing teams around, I must have seen these two aren't around each other at the moment in the table, but I mean in general, you can't just turn up and have an entitlement to win. Like next week with us. We'll go to Rotherham next week. We can't turn up next week and say we're entitled to win that game next week because they're bottom of the league and it's going to be an easy game. We can't have that attitude. We can't afford to have that mentality because it'll come back to haunt us and we'll get beat, or we certainly won't win. So, but in this game, QPR obviously was fighting in this game. QPR, we've played them this season, haven't we? And they haven't got quality. A bit like us, really, at times. They haven't got much quality. They've got some bits of quality, but they haven't got quality. That's why they're down there. But what they do is they fight. And at the moment, that fight in the past 2 games has gone. And you can't, if we keep going on like this and keep, how long is this going to last? Because if we're going to talk about staying in this division, we have to fight, but we can't just fight when we want to fight. We have to keep going, and the last 2 games we haven't shown fight. And ultimately, if you don't do that, then you're just not going to get anywhere. You're just not going to get anywhere, and yeah, that's it. That's so. It's a funny old league. It's the Championship, but I just think everybody feels flat all of a sudden again. The stadium felt flat today. I don't know if people felt. The one with Scott was all right, but then the mood obviously quickly changed in the second half when it just went downhill. And like I said, I think that ultimately Andre did get the selection wrong today, and he did get the in-game management as well was poor, in my opinion, because he didn't react quickly enough to, obviously, in that second half, and obviously I just felt like he didn't do anything to kind of try and stop that momentum from then, and just allowed them to just score a goal, if you get me. And obviously, forgot to mention the changes. Obviously, Kasumu came off for Karoma. In fact, no, Sky got that wrong, haven't they? Did Ben Wiles come on? Did Ben Wiles come on today? Or didn't they? Anyway, it says that I don't know who Kasumu came off for, but Kasumu came off. Headley came off for Karoma. Balka got some minutes, as I said. Helik came off in the 76th minute. No injury, as far as I'm aware, but I think Balka obviously needed some minutes, and at that point the game was over. So, yeah. And then Matos, as I said, cannot believe that. To me, that's just an insult to Matos. To me, bringing him on with a 4-1 down, you're actually kidding me. Balka's different because he does need minutes, so fair enough for that. But bringing Matos on when we're 4-1 down, are you actually crazy? Unbelievable how that decision was okay. That was not acceptable for me. So I'm sorry. And I've just dropped my iPad there. Anyway, we're back. So it's honestly depressing watching us at the moment. It's been for a while, yeah, it has. We've had to put up with so much rubbish, haven't we, this season and beyond. It's just getting tiresome now, isn't it? It's getting tiresome, it's getting draining. It's just the same vicious cycle every year with no progress. No progress at all. Just the same old rubbish, and yeah, there's just nothing, is there? That's it, thank you. Yeah, so Ward came on again. Ward came on, didn't do anything, did he? So yeah, I thought the initial game plan was right, but the change was slightly too late. But even then, the players didn't execute them properly. Yeah, like I said, I don't think the game plan for me as well is from the starting 11. That's the game plan, and for me, Matos obviously has to be starting. So that was already alarm bells ringing for me. Like I said, I don't understand why the change were left too late. They were too late, as he said. And bringing Matos on at that point was pathetic. He might as well just stay on the bench. But yeah, the play nobody's executing anything properly. So yeah, I think we've kind of covered it. We are approaching the hour mark now. Like I said, I wanted to do this video, get it out of the way really, because I had a lot to say tonight. And yeah, we obviously no live this week, live tomorrow, but back live later on in the week. We'll do a match preview to the Brom game on Friday or Thursday, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, probably Friday. Yeah, probably Friday for the preview. But I don't know if there's going to be any midweek content out, but we'll see what happens. But yeah. So we're going to one thing to say, Wrexham away next season. Listen, I just can't. If like I said, I've kind of resignated myself to relegation. People can clip that, by the way. They can clip it and they'll come back at the end of the season and say, Ryan, look what you said. You said we were going down, and But I'm just honestly speaking from what my heart's telling me. And at this time of the season, if you're having performances and results like these, like the last two have been, it certainly sets the alarm bells ringing. Because we're not just losing these games, it's the way we're losing them. And I think that's the thing. It's the way we've lost these last few games for me that's kind of made me even more deflated and drained of positivity and optimism that we could stay up. And yeah, that's it really. So thank you everybody for watching anyway. Tonight obviously it was a bit of a late. It was obviously a late street. It was obviously a last minute street. I just thought, let's go live tonight and do the review. And yeah, so like I say, I appreciate everybody that's dropped in tonight and all your contributions. You know who you are, obviously. Orest, yeah, Aiden as well. Joshua's nipped in. Mark, Blue Terrier, as always. Thank you to you all for coming back in. And yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. We're back live later on in the week, as I said. Great live stream, mate. Love watching it. Great opportunity to get anger out. Town are going down. Yeah, oh gosh, even that's hard saying. Town are going down. It's looking very ominous. And next week, if we, like I said, I kind of feel like we've gone now. I feel like it's finished. You know, I don't see how we get out of this now. And I think that if we look at next week, if we lose next week, even draw, not enough. We've gone. We've definitely gone next week. If we don't win, we're gone. As far as I'm concerned, because if you can't beat Rotherham, who've only won 3 games all season, then I'm sorry. That is you just might as well give up. So yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you all have a lovely week. Anyway, I might be back midweek with some kind of content. I'm not sure yet. I don't really know what I could do with content, to be fair, midweek, unless there's kind of any news or some kind of idea that I come up with to. But could even do a watch along to a game. But I don't know. Maybe I should just have a few days off. And Isaac, just as we're about to go, you think we're down as well? Yeah. Look, I'm not alone. I'm not alone thinking that I think we're down. And as hard as that's to say, I just think we've rode our luck for so long now, season after season. And like I say, that luck runs out, and I'm afraid I just have a gut feeling. I have a gut feeling that this is the season. And let me tell you, going down to League One would damage this club so much, and it would. There's no, we know how hard it is to get out of League One because we were in League One for so long, if you remember, and we've struggled to get out of it. Playoffs. Got into the playoffs, we kept blowing our chance. Obviously, we did get up eventually, but yeah, it's a long road back. It's a long road back, people, and that's it really. But yeah, thank you for coming in briefly, but we are about to end now, Isaac, so feel free to catch up on the show from earlier on when I started it. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. As I said, I am going now. Hope you all have a lovely week. If you can, obviously, it's going to be a long week to that Rotherham game now, and then that Rotherham game, the pressure is well and truly on, but we'll cover it on Friday night for the preview. So join us on Friday at 7 o'clock for the preview show to the Rotherham game. And Marks is up the town. I mean, I would love to say up the town right now, but I'm not so feeling up the town at the moment. I just feel like we're going down, Mark. I really do. I know you said that we'll be all right, and you do reassure me, to be fair, but I just have a gut feeling. I just do. It's just painful. It's painful to admit, but I just can't lie to myself. So I love to be proven wrong. I'd love to look stupid come the end of the season with this stream that I've done tonight when I've said that we're going down and we end up staying up. That's football. But I can only go off what I feel, and what kind of my gut feeling is. And if I'm wrong, I'm absolutely buzzing with it, of course, because I want to stay up so badly. We all do, but I'm just struggling to find any kind of positives right now with what we've seen recently. So yeah, I'll see you all very, very soon anyway, guys. And good night. Have a good rest of the good rest. I'm waffling now. I think people probably realise I struggle to end streams. I struggle to actually end the stream because I just end up repeating myself over and over again. But yeah, I'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back. We'll be back very, very soon for another stream. Take care, everybody, and good night.